What we're going to do today is we're going to review the information that we've learned so far about filling out job applications, okay? But before we fill the job application out, we want to review some information about how we ask for the job application, how we should dress, and I'm also going to talk about first impressions. And again, this is what we've been talking about pretty much since school started. So it's really important that we have a good understanding of this because we are going to have a test on this towards the end of the week. Okay, so the first question that we have here, well, first there are 5 questions, okay? And the first question says, when you are seeking a job application, how should you dress? Number 2 says, why is it important to be polite and respectful when seeking a job application? Number 3 says, what does the phrase first impression mean? And number 4 says, what can you do to ensure that you make a great first impression? Number 5, the last one says, how does personal hygiene play a role in first impressions? All right, so the first one, let's look at that one. When we're seeking a job application, how should you dress? So you should dress, obviously, professionally. So you should dress professionally and neat. If you are a guy, you should have on either slacks or dress pants. Okay. If you and then you may have a button-down polo or a shirt and tie. All right. So let's go ahead and add that over here. Let me just get it where I can add some text to our form here. So obviously you want to dress professionally, neat, professionally, and neat. All right. You want to wear, if you're a guy, you want to wear slacks or dress pants and a polo shirt or button down or shirt and tie. Okay, make sure you're copying this on your paper that looks just like this one, because I am going to take these up and make sure that you copy what you were supposed to. All right. Let's see here. If you are a woman, okay, you're going to want to wear a professional dress or skirt or maybe a pantsuit. Okay, but you want to make sure that when you're dressing that you look professional. So whether you're a guy or you're a girl, you guys know what looks professional. When you go in to ask for an application, you want to look and see how those people have dressed, and you want to copy the way they've dressed. Let's look at some examples of professional dress. Let's see here. So I'm just going to type in male professional dress.
Check out these pictures.
Right. So let's take a look and see what some of the men are wearing. So this particular guy, he has a nice button-down shirt on with a sweater, which would be appropriate if it were the winter time. This guy has on a suit. All right, so if you're going to a very professional interview, like working in an office or working at a school or working in some sort of management position, like being the manager of a restaurant or a clothing store or maybe a game store, you're going to want to be as professional as possible, so a suit and tie would be completely appropriate. This guy here, what he's wearing looks okay, but it's not perfect because his shirt is unbuttoned, so it doesn't look very professional, but it's not awful. Okay, this guy here looks very professional. He's wearing a shirt and tie. The shirt even has a design. He looks very nice and clean cut. All right, let's look and see at business casual. Male business casual. Let's see, didn't take my word. So you could also wear this to an interview. It doesn't have to be a shirt and tie. He looks very nice and is still ready for an interview. He's wearing a 3-button polo shirt, um, just so that you can see that a little more. 3-button polo shirt, and it has a nice collar. As you can see, his outfit is wrinkle free. He has slacks on. This is what you would consider to be slacks, and he has some nice dress shoes on. All right. You want to make sure that you don't wear jeans. While this guy looks business casual, and he still looks nice, he's wearing jeans. All right, jeans are not professional to wear when looking for a job or going on a job interview. Okay, let's take a look at what women should wear. Female professional dress. All right, and let's take a look and see what we get. Okay, so if you own a pantsuit, something like this, that would be completely appropriate. That looks very nice. She's very professional. And take a look at her makeup. It's not very over the top or too much. She looks also very nice. This is more professional. You don't have to wear a pantsuit when you go interviewing, but it would be helpful. All right. You could also wear some sort of skirt and blouse that looks something similar to that, or maybe if you have a nice dress with a jacket that would go over it. There's lots of options if you're a woman. You could even wear some slacks like she's wearing and a nice button-up. That looks nice. You could wear a dress of some sort if you have a nice professional dress like that. So lots and lots of options. Maybe even an outfit like that where it has sort of like that skirt and dress at the same time type look. She looks very nice. You just want to make sure that whatever you wear, again, looks very professional. Never wear jeans and never wear very short skirts or very short dresses. So make sure that you look professional at all times. That's the key, guys. Okay. Number 2, why is it important to be polite and respectful when seeking a job application? The reason that you want to be polite and respectful is that you want to make a great first impression. Okay, that's the biggest thing. You want the employer to think you are a good fit for the company or for the position. Okay, you want them to think that you're a good fit, meaning that they don't want to hire someone that's rude to customers. They don't want to hire somebody that's very difficult to work with, someone that runs their mouth a lot. You want to be polite, courteous, and respectful whenever possible. Okay, number 3, what does the phrase first impression mean? So first impression is the first thoughts that the employer thinks about you the very first time they meet you. So you only have a couple of seconds, guys, to make a great first impression. Think about anybody that you have seen for the very first time. As soon as you see them, you think something about them. You either like the way they look or you don't like the way they look. You like the way they smell or you don't like the way they smell. You think something's interesting about them or you just think that they're boring. So everyone has just a couple of seconds to make a very positive first impression upon someone else. You want to look well put together, you want to look respectable, and you want to look very professional. Okay, number 4, what can you do to ensure that you make a great first impression? Well, what you can do, obviously, is dress professionally, as we've been talking about. You can be polite and courteous. You can be patient. When you ask for a job application, sometimes they may not be able to give it to you right then. They may be assisting a customer. So you want to make sure that you're patient if they say, could you hold on for just a moment while I finish with a customer, and I'll be glad to give you an application. You may be speaking to a manager and the phone might ring. The manager may say, let me take this call. You want to be patient because if you're rude or disrespectful in any way, you're not going to get considered for a job, and they're definitely not going to want to interview you. Okay, so dress professionally, be polite and courteous and patient, and be prepared. That's the biggest one, guys. Be prepared. You know, bring everything you need for a job interview when you're filling out an application. Because as I told some of you very recently, I have been interviewed on the spot before by a couple of people, and I've gotten hired before on the spot. So you want to be prepared for the interview, even if you're just seeking a job application. They may be shorthanded and want to interview you right then so they can hire you. So be as prepared as possible. Okay, and number 5, how does personal hygiene play a role in first impressions? So personal hygiene is important because employers want to hire people that look professional. So if you have an odor, if you stink, if your clothes aren't ironed, they're very wrinkled, if your clothes have stains on them or tears in them, or your teeth are very yellow, they haven't been brushed, your hair is not combed, you are wearing very bright makeup or excessive makeup, those are all things that employers look at when you're filling out a job application. They want to make sure they're going to hire someone that's going to represent the business well, especially if you're going to be working at the front, working with customers. Like you might be working a cash register, or you might be stocking if you're working in a department store and working around customers. So you want to make sure that you look professional. People will hire you and they will give you a chance if you make a great first impression. But if you blow the first impression by not being prepared, having poor personal hygiene, not being dressed appropriately, not bringing the right information that is needed to fill out the job application, no one's going to give you a chance. Okay, and that is very important that you understand that, because first impressions mean everything. All right. So what I want you to do now is I want you to finish copying this sheet, and just a second, guys. I want you to finish copying this sheet, and then after you finish this sheet, I want you to go ahead and complete the Blackboard assignment. And after you complete that, make sure you turn this sheet in. And take notice to the top where it has name, date, and period. Make sure you write your name, date, and period so that I'll know who completed the sheet. I'm going to grade the sheet to make sure that you completed it. And if you completed it, you'll easily get a 100. All I'm asking you to do is copy the information down onto the sheet. And remember that we're going to have a test at the end of the week. We're going to have one more review session the next time you come, so be prepared to fill out the same type of sheet and watch another similar type video. If you have any questions, let us know.